Happy 2021, guys. Let's all have a toast with tea that we made it and that hopefully this year won't suck as much. So this week I am quite busy. I'm working on graphies, chapters left and right. So I asked around on Instagram for a quick, sort of cozy, easy video for me to make because I honestly had no idea what I'm gonna film. And you guys suggested a little favorite art supplies of 2020 and maybe a few art goals. Wait, let me put a little candle here. We are getting cozy. I do have a few goals that I want to learn on Skillshare. Let's get started with my favorite art supplies of 2020. Starting from the bottom up, so paper. This was my favorite paper of this year, which surprised the crap out of me. I only got this pad in September, I think. But I've decided to try and use more 100% cotton watercolor paper this year, and Arches was like the obvious choice, like everyone uses Arches. I first tried this. I don't like this. I don't enjoy the texture in the front. I do enjoy the one in the back. This is quite a texture paper and I tend to like texture, but apparently not in 100% cotton paper. I like smooth grain in 100% cotton paper and that really surprised me. So this is definitely my favorite paper of 2020. I used it for a bunch of drawings even though I got it so late in the year. Next up, I have here a bunch of stuff. So next up, in terms of sketching, a friend of mine went to visit me in the middle of the year and she had one of these, like with the blue LEDs. And I have been enjoying sketching with this so much. I'm not usually picky with things I use for sketching. I tend to use like this kind of pencil, but this is not erasable. Neither is this, by the way. But this is like the Carandash Pablo one. And I like to do this one for my final drawings, like the ones I'm going to do watercolor. But in order to save these, I like using these to actually sketch and just get the initial shape on another different paper. And these are pretty cool. They're not erasable, like I said, but the lead is quite thick and it's quite light. This is a Kolinor Versatile. I want to say this in Portuguese, versatile, I think that's what I want to say it. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite tool for sketching. Next, I want to talk about my favorite brush of the year. This guy, my favorite brush of the entire year. I love this to death. This is from Jackson's. It's a Raven synthetic brush, by the way. But this is a quite small, like, mop brush. I love this brush. I want to get more of these. These are so nice, but they're quite expensive. But I love these. I might have to just go on Jackson's and order some more because they're gorgeous. I absolutely love them. I'm just so in love with these. I got this along the what do you call this? The silver black velvet. And after using this for so long, they're okay. But I think I much prefer synthetic brushes just because I like the spring of them. And for example, I have these way less time than the silver black velvet. I think I use these way much because they're synthetic, they are much bouncier. So I think these are cool, but I won't get any more. They're pretty cool, they're fun to use, but I just much prefer synthetic. And the mop brush is just pretty cool because it's just fun to use. So that's my favorite brush of the year, for sure. Next, we have my newfound love, fountain pens. I love fountain pens and I found this love in 2020. They're just so pretty and they're so cool to use, and I use them to write as well. And this one I have the Brown Beaver Dan Ferris Wheel Press. In this one I have the Misguided Mistletoe, again from Ferris Wheel Press. This one I have, what do I have in here? I think I have the Rhubarb, the Royal Rhubarb, yeah. And this one I always have the Blue Velvet Grass just because it matched so well. So this pen is my first one. This is by Lamy, so it's the Lamy Safari. These two are from Wish and they work just fine. They're just much lighter. And this is my newest acquisition, which is from Ferris Wheel Press. This pen is fancy as F. And you can tell just by looking at it, it looks fancy, it screams fancy. And I feel fancy while I write with it and draw. So these are my like starting from sketching, painting, inking, then kind of going a step forward. But I love acrylic pens and I have loved for a while. Oh, this one's very dirty. But I still have not quite found the perfect brand for me, I think. Poshkas, I kind of gave them up. I don't use Poshkas a lot anymore. These ones are okay. These are the Derwent paint pens. They are okay. They have like a very fine point. The Molotovs are cool. They're very cool because they are refillable. You can see how much paint you still have here on the barrel. But they are so darn expensive, I don't know. These I got this year as well. These are the Archer acrylic graphs pens. They are pretty cool, but I do find that the tip skips a lot. It's either me that just can't use them properly, but this tip skips so much. I don't know, but I love the colors that they have and they're cool, but again, I don't know. I haven't found my perfect one. This is the Amsterdam ones. The point's a bit chunkier than what I like. I don't know, I just want to say that I still love acrylic pens, I just don't have a preferred one. But I do love acrylic pens. But I don't have a brand or a paint pen specifically to tell you. Then, in terms of mediums that I use, I think a clear winner for me, even though I got them in the middle of the year, are my Jello Mission Gold watercolors. These guys took my heart and they stole my heart so fast. I absolutely love these. You can tell they're stunning. They were kind of a gift, like a friend of mine did not use these, so I got them secondhand. I did have to pay customs, which was like 50 euros, which is like what they cost, but it's fine. I don't mind. I got amazing watercolors and I love these. I absolutely love these. These are my favorite watercolors of the year for sure. Another watercolor that I still want to mention are the Dauphine over Apollo watercolors. Now, I have not used them in a lot of paintings, but in the paintings that I have used, oh boy, did they shine. I still want to do a series of videos where I do a painting per this shinies, because these shiny collections have like mythological creature names. So hag, I would do like a witch. This one's harpy, I would do a harpy. This one's siren, a mermaid, nymph. So I really want to do still a series of videos where I just paint a character and just try and incorporate this color the more that I can. So definitely big shout out to these watercolors. They are stunning and I have used them, especially the shiny ones. I have used them in a few of my paintings to highlight, and I definitely still want to use these more on more paintings, but they're super stunning and definitely still one of my favorites, even though I haven't used them a lot. One quick mention I have to do, even though again I was kind of watercolor obsessed this year, but my gouache, my baby gouache, I miss it and I definitely need to give it some more love because it's stunning and you can tell. I mean I cleaned the palette recently, so it's not that bad. I really do want to use it again in 2021. It's one of my art goals actually. Now that we're talking about it, one of my art goals is to use more gouache. Definitely practice just more backgrounds. I don't have a very specific art goal. I think I have more like career goals and knowledgeable goals. Like I really want to start working on more composition or more video effects that I can do. I want to work on motion graphics as well. I just want to try and be as knowledgeable as I can. I also would love to get my YouTube channel to be monetized this year. So I basically just want to advance in my career when it comes to art, hopefully make it my actual career. And that's pretty much my big goal of the year. It's just that. Moving on to something I think is quite obvious. Ferris wheel inks. Now, I think I only started working with them this year, which kind of feels crazy because it feels like I've used these for so long. It feels crazy to me that I have only started using these this year. But I pulled out some of my favorites. I can show you a picture of how they are stored. One of you guys was curious how I actually store these, if I have them on display. Unfortunately, no, I don't have the room to do that, but they are all tucked away safely. So here, the picture is how I actually have them stored. The first ones that I got, I believe, was the pastel collection. This was my favorite ink of that time. It was the Cream of Pearl, and this ink is just absolutely stunning. I can also include some photos of swatches that I have right here, and this ink is just beautiful. I use these a ton. I then received their original collection, and in that collection I absolutely loved the Lady Rose and the Blue Velvet Grass. In that collection I also really like Candy Marsala. This is just stunning. By the way, if you haven't seen any of my videos of Fairly's Real Press, I have a bunch of them, so you can go watch them. And they are just super stunning. They come in this little pack. I love them. When I was able to work with them, I was just super happy. They never paid me, by the way. They sent me their stuff, but they never paid me. All of this love comes from me. Then they sent me their summer collection, which came in these tiny, adorable little jars. They're so cute. And I think in that collection, definitely Peachy was one of my favorite inks, for sure. And incredibly, Frivolous Lime. I usually hate greens, but these two really stole the show for me. And these are just adorable. More recently, they had their autumn and winter collection, and these four were my favorites. So it was the Moss Park Green, the Goose Pipon, and the Royal Rhubarb. These are my three favorites for sure for the autumn collection. And then for the winter sparkly one, the Wondrous Berry, Winter Berry, is the one that I have on one of my fountain pens. And I use this one a lot for Christmas cards, and I just loved it. These were my favorite Ferris Wheel Press inks, and they're awesome. I think my iPad deserves a mention. I mean, this is technically art supply, right? I use Procreate a lot. During this year, right before lockdown, my iPad died. And I was so sad. I was just so sad. So I missed a bunch of art that I did on my iPad. I think I really got better at digital over this year. I posted on Instagram stories my first digital painting of 2020, and then my last one. So I can put them here both on the screen so you guys can kind of see the difference. I definitely am more confident when it comes to digital, and that is just awesome for me. So I think that's it. Like I mentioned, this video is very just quick and easy for me. I really needed something that did not require for me to draw or to use a lot of brain power. I'm kind of starting the year already, very tired and burnt out. I will pull through it, and I have some very cool ideas coming up for next week's. A quick announcement, my shop will be back open around middle of January. I still have kind of see dates, but I have some very cool new projects coming out, so be on the lookout for that. In terms of art goals, like I said, I just really want to get better in general, but I definitely want to practice backgrounds. And then it's just a matter of projects. I want to do more SkillShare classes. I have one that I really want to record about ink as well. And then I just want to learn more stuff on Skillshare. I just want to become a more knowledgeable person because I feel that I'm lacking in that department. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. All my information down below. Check out my Instagram, Bia Ibishku Art. And if you want to become one of my Patreons, link will be down below. Check out my graphics, my Skillshare. I have tons of links for you to see down below if you're interested in anything. Thank you so much for being here again. I hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve and a great few days of 2021. Mine were filming, editing, and eating a lot of leftovers. And honestly, I can't complain. They were very good leftovers, if I may say so myself. I made a fantastic carrot cake. It was delicious. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!